So let's go ahead, dive in, check it out, and I'll give a quick take on what implications one that this has and how this could potentially impact cases against other celebrities in similar situations.
To work security at one. According to your lawsuit, you were hired by a security firm to work security at one of the infamous white parties that was thrown by Sean Combs in the Hamptons. What was that experience like?
Okay, now for purposes of protecting this person's PII, his personal identifiable information, they clearly blurred this guy out. They altered his voice. I think he originally filed his lawsuit. I'm assuming he had to have filed it as a John Doe because otherwise everybody would know who he is and there would be no point in doing all of this. But yeah, they obscured the accuser's identity to protect his privacy. I'm saying the shit that's already on the screen. I'm sorry. I got to do better. All right, let's go back to the video. Now, at some point, I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch it, but I think we know what Diddy probably did to this guy. So at some point, I may pause it if I could catch it. If not, we just going to play it through. But you know how YouTube is. They get a little sensitive sometimes.
At first, he was incredibly friendly, very gracious.
What was
John Doe hired to be security at Diddy's white party, which is wild. Hold up, real quick. I don't know if y'all caught that. I'm sorry. That just hit me what she said. What she said is fucking insane. I actually got a cuss. This dude said he was. Hold up. Let's change this camera. This dude said he was hired to be security at his white party. Security, bro. Like you have, like, hey, I'm not saying there's morals to being a creep or any type of violent criminal as Diddy has been accused of. But the security guard, bro, the security guard is there for your interest to make sure things don't get out of hand. If somebody come in try to go upside your head, security handle business. If it's a young lady there getting too wild, security escort out. Yo, you are fucking insane. If these allegations are true and John Doe's lawsuit is proven to be he's found still, that's actually crazy. Security, bro, because I don't know, that's crazy. Security is actually fucking ridiculous. To take advantage of your security is fucking crazy. All right, let's go and watch the video. My bad. It just hit me that this guy said he was hired to be security at the white party. Come on, bro. Now you just being ridiculous. Like, that's crazy.
In the Hamptons. What was that experience like?
At first, he was incredibly friendly, very gracious.
So you had a friendly chat, and then, according to your lawsuit, at some point later in the night, Sean Combs himself offered you a drink. This didn't come from staff or someone holding a tray of drinks. It came from him directly.
Correct.
He gave the dude the drink directly. If these allegations are true, this is like, all of it is fucking terrible, but goddamn, bro, you even out here trying to get your security, the people you hired to protect your life, man, that's crazy work.
First drink started to have some effect on me, and I just thought, wow, these are really strong drinks. It wasn't until the second drink, and it was already too late, that I realized that there was something wrong with the drinks.
Wait, what? Hold on. Wait, what? Oh. What? I'm sorry. Then at least I got distracted by that comment. I'm sorry. I gotta get through this video. Sorry. All right, let's go.
Wow, these are really strong drinks. It wasn't until the second drink, and it was already too late, that I realized that there was something wrong with the drinks. Sadly, Sean Combs was waiting in the wings. He was watching from some sort of vantage point. And once I was in a helpless position and he was sure that he was in a position of power, then he took advantage of the situation.
By Sean Combs.
That's fucking crazy. Like, Yo, this dude in this lawsuit, you're gonna have to disclose your identity, bro. I'm generally a proponent of he has to disclose his identity, but I do agree that he shouldn't disclose his identity until they're closer to a presumed trial date. And the only reason I give him a little bit more deference than the accuser and the Jay-Z complaint that we went through is because Diddy has a history of violence, making threats, trying to intimidate people. People can say that about Jay-Z, but we don't have a track record to prove that's the case. At least not from my vantage point that we can see in the public forum. It may be people saying it, but I think Diddy clearly has that track record. So I think there is a genuine safety concern that should afford him some anonymity with his identity, but it has to be disclosed if he gets to trial, closer to trial. Because, I mean, regardless of how terrible a person Diddy is, he has to have a right to be able to defend himself.
That act alone, according to your lawsuit, left you in considerable pain. And then once inside the vehicle, your lawsuit says plaintiff was held down by Combs, who overpowered him while he struggled to escape due to the effects of the drugs in his system.
Yeah, that dude. Next time his silhouette come up, I'm gonna pause it. But all I saw was a big ass head. That dude looked like he a pretty sizable guy, and he hired to do security for Diddy. Like we've seen Diddy, Gene Deal, all of Diddy's security guards. They not hiring like a 6 foot, 200 pound brother like me. They hiring some 6'7" big ass buff dude or some shit. So I agree with you.
And it goes on to say that he sodomized you.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop. It was incredibly painful.
This is crazy. I don't even want to hear this part. Low key. Like, hey, this is terrible. I don't even want to hear this part, even though he already said it. It's just wild. It's uncomfortable for me to listen to. I don't even want to listen to it. God, I'm glad I don't do these types of fucking cases no more. Defending and prosecuting people who are either victims or alleged to have been defendants in these cases. But yeah, this is not no small guy, clearly.
He was acting like it was nothing, and he seemed to be disconnected from it. But it was abusive beyond belief.
Okay, this is just talking about Combs' representative, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Mr. Combs' legal team had full confidence in the fact. The truth will prevail that Mr. Combs has never.
All right, seeing as Elizabeth Wagmeister is doing.
All right, so real quick, before we go through the rest of this video, I can see why you would call cap on this, okay? I can see why you would call cap on this. And for me, I think the thing that makes it seems a little disingenuous, maybe this is just me, y'all let me know. I wonder if did he have something against this guy? That's yo, that's my point. That's crazy. Now, again, if I see something inconsistent, I'm gonna call out an inconsistency. Of all the victims who we've known who have been identified, this is just I gotta call out something this inconsistent, and I would spot as an anomaly. Okay, one, hey, if this did happen, it's a big deal for a guy to come forward and say that this shit actually happened, because most guys gonna be like, "Nah, I'm taking that shit to the grave." So, hey, if this did happen and you came forward, hey, shout out to you for finally having the courage to come forward. But I will tell you, we've seen conversations from a lot of security guards related to Sean Combs, and I think their stories are genuine, especially Gene Deal. And I think the stories are genuine because Gene Deal actually told a story where he actually implicated himself, because he said he used to supply like the condoms to the all white parties. That's supplying condoms to those parties is just as worse as the person supplying the narcotics for those parties from a legal standpoint. One isn't drugs, but you're still providing something in the furtherance of a crime that's being committed. So I think that most of the people we seen who associated with security, I think they're telling true stories because they tell stories that even implicate themselves, which is dumb as hell, first of all. But of all the alleged victims, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying Diddy's not a sick person, but this security guard, this person in this video, doesn't appear to be consistent with what we've been hearing from all of the other victims in this case. It's normally women, young women, and in the instances that I've seen who people who actually spoke out, if it's a male, it was somebody like I think what's his name, Little Rod says something or something. Very different and overall stature than this big ass security dude. Like, I don't know. And plus, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, if I'm a Diddy's defense attorney, the question would be simple, like, yo, okay, I can bring other security guards up and be like, yo, have have you all ever been slipped a Mickey, roofied, whatever it was called, during the course of providing security services for Sean Combs? I just feel confident that mostly anybody you put on that standing position is going to be like, nah, I don't think that that ever happened to me. So I do see how you could, hey, I do see how you could call cap on it because it just seems inconsistent with other patterns of this behavior that we've seen associated with Diddy. Yeah. Holding a pink knife in his hand, that pitchfork. I agree. I agree. I'll say that they were party favors. All right, so let's go and finish watching this video, see what they have to say. Remember, this is my first time. I watched like 30 seconds of the video, so I'm seeing it with y'all. That's why I'm pausing it a lot because I'm like, whoa, wait, what? The security guard, bro? That's crazy. That's like, why would I slip my, I don't know, like my driver. I don't know. It's crazy. It's not making sense. I will say that. There's a lot of questions that I would throw out on cross examination because it's just not making sense.
Really amazing reporting on this subject is here with your exclusive. What was it like to sit down with this man?
You know, John, this was the first time that he has told anyone other than his attorneys this story. He, as you see, we concealed his identity. He filed his lawsuit back in October as a John Doe. He says that he wants to keep his anonymity because he wants to keep some semblance of his life private. But that's a difficult thing to do, to sit down and tell your story to a stranger as a journalist. So I asked him, why now? Why are you coming forward now? And he said that he did not know that there were other accusers of Sean Combs out there. He only found out from seeing news reports.
Now, him telling her that statement to me, now that makes me, that actually adds to the fact that this seems a little disingenuous. Hey, it's just a complaint. It could be true, it could be false, but you didn't know there were other accusers out there and you filed your shit in October. I don't know, like okay, we give everybody the benefit of the doubt because it's just a complaint. We don't know, but that definitely sounds cap. Like that doesn't sound genuine. That sounds completely disingenuous.
And there was one report he saw that there is somebody who alleged that they were 9 years old when they say that they were abused by Sean Combs. And this John Doe that I sat down with, he said, if a 9-year-old could do it, then I could do it. And it made him feel like he wished that he spoke out before because he could have prevented children from allegedly being abused.
I don't care about anything what the John Doe is saying about other accusers, just personally, because he's only speaking of other accusers in the context that he has heard that they started to file all of these claims. So to me, that's personally irrelevant. And I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Like I just can't buy you saying that. Oh, I didn't know it was other accusers out there, and that like no. I just thought I unilaterally had the courage, and I saw all of this. That doesn't make any sense, even though nothing is above what Sean Combs may do, but I don't know. That could be a fair point. It either could be legitimate or it could be a paper grab. I don't know, but something about it is giving me cause to pause. But we got to see what other evidence is out there if they're going to file an answer. I seriously doubt that he's going to file an answer to this. And if I was the attorneys in this case, I wouldn't want him to file an answer to this. I would try to keep this case in a holding pattern until the criminal matter went forward first. Because once you get that criminal conviction, it actually helps you for purposes of the civil trial, even though it's something completely different. If Diddy is going to testify, like everybody's going to know that he's got that conviction. Everybody's going to know that this is conduct that he's been convicted of and have done before, and it could only help you in a civil case.
Now, as I said, this lawsuit was initially filed back in October of this year. So these claims are not new, but this is the first time that he sat down. In fact, John, this is the first time that any accuser of Sean Combs has sat down with the media for an interview. Now, I want to play you a bit more of what he told me about these allegations, what he says happened that night in 2007. But I do want to warn our viewers that what he says is graphic and disturbing.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop.
Man, bro. Hold on real quick. Let me address this comment, which is a fair comment. How was he security but not seeing what was going on, or did he only work the one day? Hey, shout out to y'all co-counsel for asking reasonable questions that anybody would want to know who's hearing these allegations. And that's exactly, if we're having these thoughts like, bro, wait, you were security? Like, you were security and you weren't observant? And the other thing is, like, I don't know, like, I have friends who like played in the league and I've been out the clubs with them. And when they out with security, like, security not on shits and giggles time drinking drinks that's like, now it could have been water, but he didn't say it was water. He said he passed me a drink. And most times, if it's water, people say, oh, he passed me a glass of water. But he said he passed me a drink. See, this is the holes that people was just gonna see. He said he passed me a drink, and I thought, ooh, this drink was strong. So it clearly wasn't water. I've seen security for people who are fucking millionaires, tens of more than one occasion. One thing they don't do is drink on the job, unless this guy is like street security, goon squad security. But it's not sounding like he was goon squad security, like Gene Deal type of security. So, like, yo, you security and you on the job drinking an alcoholic beverage, like, I don't know. It's something that's just, hey, we all gonna have these questions. Yeah. It's not a big tip lie, but it sounds a little cappy. Hey, I agree. It's kind of given like, I don't know. That was what I was thinking too. You have to be on point. How you going to protect anyone if you drinking on the job? The other thing too is that brings up another point as we delve into that. Like, I need to know, like, I'm assuming if I'm Sean Combs, I only want armed security. I don't want nobody who's going to just be able to punch somebody and whoop their ass. I need somebody who need to pull out that thing and go to work just in case. You're armed security. If you there, you're armed security. And when you're armed security, you shouldn't be drinking on the job while you actually have a firearm. That's actually illegal. So it's just so many things and questions where this dude could get eviscerated on the stand. So I'm not knowing all the facts. If I'm Sean Combs' attorney and this guy, from what we heard so far, I wouldn't really be too concerned about this guy. Yeah, I did security and police for 35 years. This is a no. Hey, 100% agree with you. Hey, as someone who's been in law enforcement, the most law enforcement agencies, using things, alcohol while you're on the job with your firearm, nah, that's stuff that people lose their job for. So this dude is giving a look. I like that term. It does sound a little cappy. I may have to cut this. I may have to cut this video out of this whole live stream and just post it separately?
It was incredibly painful. He was acting like it was nothing, and he seemed to be disconnected from it. But it was abusive beyond belief.
Now, he says that not a day has gone by where he hasn't thought about this. He said that when something like this happens to you, which is, of course, his allegation that he was drugged and sodomized by Sean Combs back in 2007, he says that it impacts every part of your life. He says that he has not been able to carry on with relationships. He says that he did not tell his wife at the time, who he was married to when this allegedly happened to him. He hasn't told family members or coworkers. And again, that is one of the big reasons why he wants to remain anonymous.
Incredible to hear him tell this story. All right, Elizabeth Wagmeister, thank you very much. Sarah.
All right, joining us now, CNN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney Joey Jackson to discuss more about this. All right.
Oh, let's see what he has to say. This might be good.
First of all, this is a civil lawsuit. Yes. It is not part of the criminal prosecution. But in hearing this, and now that he is coming out to speak, could it be?
So we'll see. There's a lot that has to be unpacked, right? The first thing is remember, Sarah, that this was an amended complaint. Why do I say that, and why is that significant? It's significant because initially when it was filed in October, there was the indication that it happened in 2007, right? Learning, however, that P. Diddy was in St. Tropez then, so it could not have happened then.
Oh, this dude capping. No, I ain't gonna say he capping, but come on, bro. You amended your... Come on, see, this is the shit I don't like right here. Like, yo, if you got a valid, legitimate legal claim, file your shit. That's what this whole legal process is for. But come on now. See, I didn't know that. But come on, you filed the complaint. The time in the complaint was inconsistent with Diddy's whereabouts was. He was in San Tropez. So you do amended complaint. Like, come on, bruh. You security, you drinking on the job. Ain't no other security guard ever. I don't know, bruh. I don't know. Come on. That's yeah, Sir Capalot. Yeah, this dude. Yeah, that once you hear that about the complaint, that's wild. Let me run that back. Come on, bro. You come on, man.
When it was filed in October, there was the indication. Why is that significant? It's significant because initially when it was filed in October, there was the indication that it happened in 2007, right? Learning, however, that P. Diddy was in St. Tropez then, so it could not have happened then. So it was amended to include, right, the year after, okay? That's a problem. There was also the indication.
Bruh, why'd y'all even fucking interview this dude? Like, real talk, like, I don't know who. I mean, I guess they trying to get a buzz or a story, but yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this video out separate from this live stream because this one is giving BS. Like, I'm normally one of the most neutral. Hey, it depends. It could be this or it could be this. You can file a complaint, you file an answer, but come on, bro. Your story already sounding goofy, and now you amended your complaint to go back in time to capture a time because your initial complaint had a date that was inconsistent with Sean Combs' whereabouts in relations to your allegation that's given money grab. Come on, I don't know. That's actually crazy. Yeah, this dude. Yeah, I'm not believing anything. Yeah.
Initially that, right, he wasn't married, and now we're learning he is. Why do I say that? Because every case turns on its facts. So if you
why is he lying about what being married? Come on, bro. And you lying about stupid shit that's always on record? You ain't got no credibility.
There was also the indication initially that, right, he wasn't married, and now we're learning he is. Why do I say that? Because every case turns on its facts. So if you're going to determine, right, it's a civil case. It involves monetary damages, not criminal. You're going to assess the credibility of it. Now, attorneys for, of course, P. Diddy are going to have a field day with that, right, of course, because when you sit down with your lawyer, you verify. Your lawyer doesn't say, oh, that's what happened. Okay. You verify it, you vet it, you ensure that it's factually accurate. And so therefore, I think those two distinctions are going to be very important. Would you have not known that you were married at this time? Would you have not known? Should you have shared it with your spouse? Potentially not. It's embarrassing, but did you know you were married at all? Did you know where you were, when you were, etc.? So it's a question of fact, and I think it'll be vetted certainly by criminal investigators to determine whether or not it's useful, and then it'll be up to the judge to determine whether it is admissible.
I am curious about something. He told our Elizabeth Wagmeister there that he'd not told anyone about this until he spoke, I think, to his attorneys. How difficult will it be to prove this?
So what ends up happening is that, you know, there's a lot of embarrassment and a lot of shame, right? And there's a lot of sensitivity as it relates to victims. And sometimes you have victim, and it's called recent outcry information, where they'll say something to a friend, I can't believe it. That's powerful evidence. In some circumstances, there's humiliation and they don't. And there are experts who will testify to that. On the issue of proof, however, there's the indication that a celebrity was present. That's according to this particular victim, Elizabeth doing an excellent job in that interview. But there was the issue of, hey, there's a celebrity present. Does that celebrity come forward? There's the indication that he told his supervisor, he being the victim who worked for a private security company, telling his supervisor. Will the supervisor come forward? Did anybody else know? So these are all questions of proof. And to the extent that you have corroboration, meaning it's not just you, there's other people, it's easier to establish your claim.
And speaking of this idea of shame that victims often feel, this
enough for Sir Capelot. This dude is I agree with all the comments. No, bro, I'm just not buying it. And I'm about as objective weight of the evidence as they come. He thought he was gonna get a money grab. I agree 100% with that statement. I don't know. It's just like this. See, this is the shit that drives me crazy, because I do believe that there are legitimate people who are victims out there, but cats like that just make it harder for people who may be a legitimate victim who actually suffered some type of traumatic event at the hands of this wrongdoer. And this security guard just coming up with this story where he don't got the date right. He don't know if he was fucking married at the time or if he was not married at the time. He private security, but he drinking on the damn job. I told my supervisor, you told your supervisor you had a drink? Because I'd have fired your ass. Like, it's just giving money grab to me. Hey, normally I don't like to say that, but this shit makes absolutely no sense. This is actually worse than the video I did on the cartel member who was suing Diddy from jail. This is actually worse facts than that. And I personally suspect that this will probably get thrown out relatively easy. Yeah. What did he tell his wife what happened to the frozen? I don't know, but I don't know. I think this is crazy. I'm not believing it. His silhouette seems inconsistent with the people who provided cases against Diddy, who actually had way more detail. I don't know. I would love to see Gene Deal speak on this, to see like, yo, he would give security drinks too, but I've never heard a security guard say anything to that effect, and I'm calling cap on it.